Hello, this is Shankos. I actually welcome you in my today's talk. Couple of weeks back, I and Mr. Azakia have made a video and he actually posted it on several points that we have discussed, mainly encompassing the religions and their influence on modern days or today's socio-political regime. And it was amazing that so many of you guys have kindly posted various interesting comments and requests for making a second episode as a continuation. But since my and Mr. Azakia's schedule do not really overlap that much. It is very difficult to make a joint conversation and then have it posted for you guys. So today I just decided to make a video dwelling some of the points that we have discussed in our previous video into deeper details. So first of all, thank you for comments and requests for making a second episode. This is very kind of you. Okay, so let's start with Hinduism. It won't be wrong to say, or at least in my opinion, Rig Veda is the backbone of Hinduism, and the rest three Vedas, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharva Vedas, complete the structure of Hinduism. Now, what is Veda for many for those people who actually do not know the meaning of Veda? Veda is the knowledge, or I mean, Veda means deeper knowledge or insight. Okay, in Veda, it is clearly suggested the worship or the presence of one absolute being or cosmic soul, and how we connect ourselves to that cosmic soul. Um, in Veda, the clear concept is that Ekam Brahmam dvitiya nasti. What it means is that there is only one absolute being who is second to none. Now, it is very funny in our present context, what is going on in India, that inspired or provoked by these pseudo-liberals like Arundhati Roy, Akib Javed, and all these guys, that the youth population of our Muslim brothers and sisters have started some rift with government as well as with non-Muslims, and they're using a very funny chant from Quran, La ilaha illallah. Now, I just said that the Brahma Sutra, which is present in Rig Veda, is Ekam Brahmam dvitiya nasti. Means there is only one absolute being, second to none. La ilaha illallah is literally and exactly the same in its essence. So practically, now we can mock back at those guys who have been indulged and provoked by those pseudo-liberals that, hey guys, you are saying, what is the relation between you and me? Is La ilaha illallah. Is exactly what Veda teaches us, that there is only one absolute being who is second to none. Now, well, let's move forward. So we talk about the connection between our soul to the cosmic. or absolute soul. Um, all of you know that in Gita, Arjuna asked Krishna about this, and he actually clearly said that there are three ways this connection, yoga, is possible. Yoga means nothing just but connection. So, again, yoga, connection via acquiring knowledge. Then Bhakti yoga, connection via devotion, endless devotion. And Karma yoga means connection by work. Krishna said very clearly that Gyan yoga is the highest on its merit, because without knowledge, we have no way of knowing what is good, what is bad, what is the difference between good and bad, what is the difference between light and dark, stronger, weaker. So, of course, if we have to reach to absolute soul, or the absolute, or the state of absoluteness, then knowledge is our boat. So, yet earning knowledge or devoting yourself to the absolute being is a work, and which is why Krishna clearly stated that uh, Karam Yoga is the greatest. Highest is Gnana Yoga, and greatest is Karma Yoga, because learning is also a knowledge. Sorry, learning is also a work. Devotion is also a work. Whatever we do is a work. So that is why Krishna regarded Karma Yoga is the greatest yoga, or greatest means to be connected with uh, absolute soul. Now, many people in India worship on various deities, deva, devis, and West. I mean Europe and US, or well, the Western world thinks Hinduism is obnoxious because it has millions of deities, and Hindus worship all these things. But if you follow Hinduism, you will see that these are the characters created by ancient munis and rishis to explain Veda to ordinary people. But over the time, as time passed on, um, those stories influenced people much more the concept of Vedas. And there is I mean, there is a thing like settlement and resettlement of the population um, between north of India and northern Europe in a cyclic process. There have been many times people uh, came into India, and then after some ages, they again started to travel towards northern Europe. It is definitely not one time it happened, but it several times happened. Then, thirdly, there have been invaders. You guys know in India, even before Islam came, like Han, Sok, Pahlavi, Kusans, and they settled in India. So what happened then? Hinduism, over the ages and ages, were confronting with new ideas. I'm not saying good or bad, but incorporating new ideas, and creating branches. So these are the three reasons the Puran, which was written by many Muni rishis, uh, that have some imaginary structured deities to explain the merit, the deeper insight of Veda in form of those imaginary characters, then people just started to worship them. And there had been, well, in 1900 centuries, there had been many guys in India like Ramakrishna, Vivekananda. They tried to explain that one God, no God, or structured God, or structureless God, all these concepts are not that important. Important is that you are connected with the absolute soul. So now moving forward a bit, then Hinduism also gave offshoots like um, Buddhism, then Sikhism, Jainism, and many other branches. As well as in Abrahamic religion, um, first Judaism, then Christianity, then Islam. Now, apart from Hinduism, all these Abrahamic and Indic religions believe on salvation, that human soul getting one with the absolute soul or the cosmic absoluteness. Um, in Hinduism, there is another concept which you can say a step ahead of salvation, which is the state of Brahmata. Now, before I talk about Brahmata, what is Brahma? Now, if you are a physicist, you know, if you start degrading an object or a matter, then it is and you follow a continuous process. So if you follow a continuous process, then there should be an end of that degradation of the size of that material that you started to degrade. And if there is an end, that is the tiniest part of that object, meaning atom or molecule. So if you apply the same theory on Brahmatva, then if you start learning as a continuous process, so there should be an end, and if there is an end, that is the state of Brahmatva. Now, what is the difference between salvation and Brahmatva? By the way, salvation is the state of moksha, that you are one with the absolute one. Like in Sikhism, Guru Gobind Singh said that he witnessed Guru Nanak became one with the Parameshwar. In Buddhism, again the same concept of salvation, which we call moksha in Sanskrit. So then, what is the difference between salvation and Brahmatva, state of attaining Brahma Gyan, Brahma knowledge, or the absolute knowledge? This is quite interesting, that salvation, imagine you take a glass and you fill it up with the exact amount of water it can accommodate. And after that, you can still see that the glass is containing water. So you can differentiate, even at that stage, you can differentiate between the water and glass. That is the state which we call that you are asymmetrically symmetrical with the object. Now, and that is actually your salvation or state of salvation or moksha. Now, imagine the glass is made of water, meaning the refractive index of glass material and the water are equal. Then you can no longer distinguish between water and the glass material. So this is the state of Brahmatva. Like in Vedanta, Vivekananda wrote a nice poetry or poem saying that my knowledge is absolute, my intelligence is absolute, my power is absolute, I am bliss absolute, my existence is all over the universe and beyond the space. I am He, I am He, I am He. So that is the state called you are one with Brahmatva. So in this episode, we have learned that uh, Marxism is not well very scientific. Now let's dwell on it. Now many people start to say or start to believe or think that Marxism is a very modern scientific concept or philosophy for that matter. Now the funny thing is that Marxism do not agree with the concept of Darwin's uh, philosophy, Darwin's theory of evolution. Now, clearly, in Abrahamic religion, there is no concept of, first it came unicell life form, then more and more complex organed form of life, and finally human we are. The same is valid for a horse. First, it was a very small animal. Then, as the nature was challenging for food and existence, it started to become bigger and taller to survive. The survival of the fittest, as you all know. Now, Marxism contradicts this evolution as well as Abrahamic religion too. But Karl Marx wrote Marxism to counter or make people fool who believe in Abrahamic religion in Europe. So he and his philosophy is much more based on the selection, not the evolution. So that means that the chairman cannot be the fittest man or fittest person for that matter. It doesn't matter the gender. I mean, it's just a way of saying man, and yeah. So Marxism, being a modern religion that miss the easy point or the primary point, that it does not support the theory of evolution. So the nature selection rule does not apply on Marxism. Um, so I would rather talk more about Hinduism, coming back to this, that uh, if we believe our scriptures, I mean the scriptures in Hinduism, as well as in Abrahamic branch of religions, that we human say God. Okay. Now, what is the name of the God? It gave a confusion whether man made God or God made man, because an absolute being can have its name. God didn't tell us what is his name. But interestingly, or if we believe, again, I'm saying, if we believe on all the scriptures, then it and then the record actually two human beings explicitly asked God for his name. One, I'm not talking about old or young. One is Moses. In Old Testament, when he received 10 commandments from God, he asked God for his name. And the answer God gave, I am that I am. And the second person is Arjun in Mahabharata, when Krishna was giving him Brahmatva, or the knowledge. He showed his Vishwarup, or cosmic Rup, or appearance, for that matter. And Krishna also asked, Arjun also asked Krishna, so what is your name? And then Krishna said, Om Tat Sat, that he is the absolute being. He is the knowledge. He is the path. He is the destination. It is very funny. In Christianity, in Bible, there's a story that some people and Jewish priests were throwing stones to a lady who was a prostitute. And then Jesus stopped that. And then the priest got angry. And in the conversation, Jesus said that before Abraham was, I am. Before Moses was, I am. Before time was time, I am. So now you can see this comparison between Christ, I mean Jesus Christ, and Krishna. He was saying the same thing, that I am the path, I am the knowledge, and I am your destination. So anyway, I hope I have dwelled a bit in details, and I hope you guys will like this discussion. And I will make some other episode. It is perhaps better to make a bit smaller episode and can have conversation with you guys via commenting, and then I would answer them. But before finishing, I just tell you the funny thing that now you can go to tell Arundhati and Javed Akhtar and all those Shineberg idiots who haven't studied anything or poorly studied. And I'm saying that La ilaha illallah, you can say to them, Ekam brahmam dvitiya nasti. Thanks for watching.